What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and we truly do live in a clown world. It's just, sometimes you just gotta sit back and laugh at it all, because I think we all saw this coming. You know, yesterday, Peter Dinklage, who played a role in the Elf movie that was supposed to be, the entire joke was that he was was a dwarf, and was cool having Will Ferrell make endless fun of him during by the way, a hilarious scene. He gets over on him because he beats him up, but that's the whole meme of that section. He was outraged again about the perpetuating the story about 7 dwarves living in a cave. So when he's not making money from it, it's a problem. I think anyone could have seen that coming. But what you probably didn't see coming is this awesome quick word from this video sponsor. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Kamikoto. That's right, Kamikoto makes Japanese steel kitchen knives using traditional techniques from Japan. Over 800 years of Japanese technology and expertise have gone into creating the steel that this knife has been meticulously handcrafted from, using techniques that date all the way back to the Edo period of Japan. Kamikoto only uses steel sourced from mills in Japan. Each knife comes in a beautiful, heavy-duty wood box. It makes sure that the knife is stored safely. Each knife is individually inspected and comes with a lifetime guarantee. These are knives that I personally own and use. I got a set through this promotion. Over Christmas, I used it to cut a beautiful brisket that I had made for the holidays, and cut ham and turkey and all sorts of things. Not only did it work flawlessly, but it was a talking point at the table. The knives felt like the perfect weight. They were perfectly balanced. And on top of all of this, Kamikoto is currently having a massive Valentine's Day sale. Just for you guys, on top of the sale, you can get an additional $50 off any purchase you make with the discount code TheQuartering. So click the link below or go to kamikoto.com/TheQuartering and use promo code TheQuartering to save an extra $50 today. Now, yesterday, we saw Peter Dinklage come out and have a meltdown. He basically, you know, I'm not exactly sure. He could have been making 2 points. He actually could have been calling out fake wokeness, because in his statement, he talked about how, wow, they're making this movie, they're remaking this movie with they're making Snow White with a Latino actress, which is, you know, he basically said, you know, no hate. But also they're remaking this movie that has, you know, stereotypical dwarves in it. So he could have been calling out fake wokeness, or, you know, if you believe the rest of what he said, you know, the rest of what he said seems like it wouldn't back that. And that is that he went on to say, well, haven't I done enough for my pulpit? I don't get it. Is he not, are we not allowed to have good stories from the past? Now, a British Paralympian, Will Perry, came out and basically crushed him, saying, I don't think we should cancel Fairy Tale that's so well loved. British Paralympian Will Perry made it clear that he disagrees with Game of Thrones actor Peter Dinklage and the Walt Disney Company's thoughts on the classic Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs story. Dinklage caused a stir when he appeared on WTF podcast with Mark Maron and discussed Disney's upcoming live-action version of Snow White, saying, well, you know, it's really progressive to cast literally, no offense to anybody, but I was a little taken aback by, they're very proud to cast a Latina actress as Snow White, but you're still telling the story of a Snow White and 7 dwarves. Take a step back and look at what you're doing. It makes no sense to me, because you're progressive in one way. By the way, that's not progressive. That's performative. Hiring a Latina to play Snow White. It's performative. There's literally no reason for it. And look, it's Snow White. Her skin was white as snow. That isn't played by a Latina actress. Unless they have vitiligo. Is that what it's called? I don't know. My boy Adam will have to tell me. But anyway, I have done Nothing. Have I done nothing to advance the cause for my soapbox? Blah, 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 blah. We already know what he said. A Disney spokesman would respond to Dinklage's comments, telling the Hollywood Reporter, quote, to avoid reinforcing stereotypes from the original film. What is the stereotype? I'm no expert on Snow White, but what was the stereotype perpetuated by it? Did anybody watch Snow White and think real life people with dwarfism live in caves? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. What was it? Do people think that real life people with dwarfism are sneezy? Is that what it does? To avoid reinforcing stereotypes from the original film, we are taking a different approach with these 7 characters and have been consulting with members of the dwarfism community. What? They continue. We look forward to sharing more as the film heads into production after a lengthy development period. The Wrap would then report that Disney is removing the dwarves from the film altogether and instead will be magical creatures. So what they're saying is that Snow White and the 7 Dwarves live action is not Snow White and the 7 Dwarves. It's not Snow White. It's not the 7 Dwarves. Why are you calling it that? Their report states, described as magical creatures, according to casting sheets. Will Perry appeared on Good Morning America where he declared, I don't think we should cancel a fairy tale that's so well loved. Obviously, so many people, they don't love it for the dwarves. They love it for the story and innocently as well. So I don't think it should be canceled. It's brilliant to have a little look and say, okay, let's consult people with dwarfism. Get their opinion. You might have to make some tweaks, but I don't think it should be canceled at all, even if it's adjusting the name slightly or the way we're presented. Wow, a level-headed take. And what's funny to me is now you talk about Hollywood representation, right? They just cut the dwarfs out altogether now. So you're about to have an opportunity for big screen representation of a large amount of people with dwarfism that you could have used to create all sorts of new narratives, right? And break down stereotypes. But instead, you whined about it, and Disney's like, meh, we'll just cut them. We didn't really care about Snow White and the 7 Dwarves anyway. We didn't care that Snow White is supposed to be white. We didn't care about the dwarves anyway. We just want your money. We're not in a cave. We are in a house. We are not depicted as mindless, stupid characters. We are sentient beings. We have feelings, he added. Perry's defense of Snow White and the 7 Dwarves comes about 2 weeks after he appeared on a BBC video criticizing film and television's depiction of individuals with dwarfism. He stated, with it I face a lot of public scrutiny. This includes people taking pictures, being filmed, laughed at, pointed at, stared at, the list goes on. That sucks. And you know, kids can be extraordinarily cruel. People think just because you have dwarfism that you're like, you know, you don't have a fully functioning brain. All these type of things that people incorrectly think about it. You know, there's also a lot of social things that people could learn. Like, are you supposed to be offering to lift them up on their seat? Are you supposed to be... There's a lot like people could learn, even like interacting with people who are in a wheelchair. They don't want you to open every door for them. They don't want you to lift them up like a baby onto the chair. They can do it. You know, there's a lot of stuff like that that you learn that you could have learned in this movie. I've never in my entire life actually interacted like IRL with somebody who has dwarfism. But I know that there are like faux pas, like you're not supposed to bend down to talk to them, because I get that, right? You're not supposed to treat them any differently than anyone else, just like literally everybody. And, you know, I have friends with physical disabilities. I don't treat them any differently. You know, sometimes you help out, like bending down, picking something up or something like that. But, You don't act like they can't get around. That's insulting. You see, Mary Jade say, once again, Disney proves not only no understanding of the original fairy tale, but also of their own cartoon. Snow White and the Seven Average-Sized Dudes, because dwarves and little people don't actually exist. I don't think little people's technically the term. Does Peter Dinklage know that dwarves and fairy tales are not the same as real dwarves? Who are people who have dwarfism? No, of course he doesn't know that. Of course! Of course he doesn't. Just another hilarious backfire. I hope you know Peter Dinklage's name got to trend on Twitter for a day, and I suppose that was probably worth it to him. But now you got 7 people with dwarfism who probably had roles in the film fired. Hope it was worth it. Hope it was all the uproar, fake outrage was worth it. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.